Welcome back to our astrological breakdown of the latest planetary transit to join 2026 dreaded retrograde season, Neptune's apparent retrograde motion through the sign of Aries. Back from number 10 on the countdown, that was March 26 Aries' Steve Lack of the band Veruca Salt and their breakout smash Seether. On this day in 2003, the band released their album Officially Dead. Well, coming back to life is the dreaded Neptune retrograde, which one of the defining components, and to remind everyone, the planet of dreams, mystery, and illusion, which is now reversing course in the sign most associated with self and identity. Okay, on the same page? Great. One of the most defining components of the Neptune retrograde in Aries is the internal fizzing out of self-distortion. This is the time when the mask doesn't fall off in public, but quietly stops fitting in private when we come home and look in the mirror. Aries normally operates with instinctive confidence, quick decisions, and a strong sense of direction. But Neptune retrograde slowly introduces subtle doubt into the mix, causing us to second-guess impulses that once felt unquestionable. Astrologers often describe this as ego de-idealization, a period when motivations are examined for hidden layers of fantasy, escapism, or unconscious conditioning. The experience can feel like becoming your own observer, watching yourself act and suddenly asking why that action felt so automatic, and even more significantly, is that action out of line with the type of person we envision ourselves being? Instead of external confusion, the confusion is quite existential, centered around internalized questions like, is this really me? Or, who is this version of myself exactly that keeps choosing this path? Neptune's retrograde disrupts outdated identity structures, which in Aries can feel a bit like an urgent and emerging crisis of identity. Nothing is off limits from feeling temporarily under review during this time, and the culmination of this process will ultimately be the creation of a quieter kind of self-knowledge, and one that feels less performative and more like actualized self-recognition. Wow, okay, taking a break to recognize today's number 9, we have an entry from a trio of alt-rockers who released their album Something to Tell You About on this date in 2017. Charting today from February 16th, Aquarius Danielle Hyam. The Hyam sisters were notably in attendance at the wedding of the century. Of course, I'm talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's recent one at Madison Square Garden. But here's a track from their debut album, Days Are Gone, titled something I'm sure those two included somewhere in their wedding vows. This is Forever.